Hello everyone, welcome to a DSP video. We're doing something a little bit different this time around. I'm actually going to be doing some art stuff. I figure, it's been a while since I've done art stuff for a DSP video, or just kind of messing around with art. It's been a while. So might as well bring that back and do some art stuff. Isn't that fun? Sounds good. There you go. So we're going to watch this pre-stream by our boy, Mr. Huff Stuff, that recorded it. This was, I think, on Monday. And I streamed yesterday, and I just kind of left. Actually, no, maybe it was Tuesday. Whatever. So we're going to watch this, and because he says some interesting things that I kind of want to get back into. We're actually going to just start from the beginning of the video, to be honest.
Jay Kramer cheered. He said, any chance you will say real talk? I never heard you say that every other sentence. Please, well, real talk.
Real talk, guys.
There are certain mannerisms that I say all the time. Is one of them. Real talk, I say sometimes, not all the time. Bottom line, I say a lot. The bottom line is, bottom line, that's another one of my mannerisms, right? What other mannerisms?
He, really wants real talk
you guys know,
to be his meme. He wants to retake it from the nasty detractors, dude.
You who are here every single day, you guys remember my man. No lie. There you go.
No lie.
Kushiaka Tori says no lie is one of them. That is definitely.
I'm surprised no one mentioned there you go. He has said there you go so many times. It is ridiculous.
Of my mannerisms. Okay.
Okay.
Some asshole just said snort. Well, no. First of all, not snort. It's called sinus issues from a medical condition I have that cannot be cured. So if you don't like it, you can leave. The bottom line is, I just said the bottom line. The bottom line is people come here every day and don't complain anymore because they're used to it. They understand it's a medical condition.
There's literally videos of him not snorting. Remember the Twitch, what's it called? The Twitch event he did in October or so? He did not snort at all.
That I can't get rid of. I've always done this in all of my videos for 10 years. And again, back in the day, no one made fun of me for it. It was only until people decided to, be negative dicks that they decided to make this something to try to make fun of. So, of course.
Because we really needed that snorts to make fun of you, Dave. You're on the ball on that one.
All right, I'll just say this very briefly because I was in a good mood last night. Because every day here, guys, when we're on streams, all right, we have a ton of fun. Right?
Ton of fun.
You guys come in, we hang out, we talk,
we
play games together, we share these fun gameplay experiences, and it's a very positive vibe here on the streams in general. Yes, there are days when I play games where I rage more or whatever, but in general, we have a good time together, right? But that being said, for every one of you who is here every day and watches my content and enjoys it, there's probably about 1,000 people, and this is no exaggeration. For every one of you, there's probably about 1,000 people who are just completely misinformed. I don't know what else to say. Doofuses.
Doofuses.
They believe.
So imagine if you're one of those people that believed the rumors about DSP and all that, and you come to DSP stream, and he says, "Oh, you believe these rumors? These doofuses." That doesn't really make you want to give him a second chance. Let's hear that again.
Probably about 1,000 people, and this is no exaggeration. For every one of you, there's probably about 1,000 people who are just completely misinformed. I don't know what else to say. Doofuses. They believe.
He should just say misinformed. Like at least be somewhat rational about it. You don't have to shit on the person because of that.
Everything that's been said about me on the internet.
Whatever.
And they go out there and they propagate these lies. No lie. Last night I'm sitting on Twitter, and I see someone tweeting about me. Because they're addressing me. It would be one thing if they just talked about me and didn't put me into it, but they do. They directly address me. And he's saying, get this. Phil, the infamous multi-time masturbator. That's right. He has masturbated a ridiculous amount of times, at least 3 on stream. And he's done it in front of thousands of children. And, he's a horrible human being. And I'm reading this, I'm like, this must be the dumbest person on the planet. Number one, if I had done that, I wouldn't be anywhere. They would have banned me from the internet permanently if this had happened, right? The truth of the matter, again, all these things that people say about me are...
Okay, the thing about about masturbating from kids and all that. Like, literally, sure, he wasn't, like, doing it in person in front of real kids or whatever, and sure, his audience can range from a age range, but he has to have known that kids do watch Let's Players. So, he does have kids who play, who watch him. So, naturally, there would be kids who would come into his stream and catch him masturbating. Or whatever. I mean, like, he acts as if, like, I don't get what he means when he says, like, well, if they caught me masturbating in front of kids, I would have been off the internet, dude. But, like, how are you supposed to prove that? How are you supposed to prove that he masturbated in front of kids? Like, yeah, in real life, he didn't. He did in his shitty office. But how is anyone gonna, provide evidence of a streamer masturbating in front of kids if it's the internet? Whatever. It just doesn't really make sense to me, you know? Like, masturbating in general should just not be okay on the internet. But okay.
Are usually based on a tiny, tiny snippet of truth. In reality, over 2 years ago.
That's too high.
I accidentally left my webcam on during a pre-stream with no audio, of which there was not even 100 people on the pre-stream. Okay? And it was just randomly kind of showing my face.
Since it's just a small amount of people, it should be okay then, right? That makes that makes no sense. So,
every once in a while. It wasn't even just showing me. It was alternating between artwork and stuff, I think, right?
There was no artwork. There literally was no artwork at that time, because it was back when he was streaming on YouTube. And, yeah, he didn't do artwork because he was afraid of copyright strikes. But, artwork, that still doesn't look right. God damn it.
And it only showed it for, like, a minute, and it was only my face, nothing else. So, yeah, if you read what these people actually say, alright, the crazy shit that they say based on a snippet of truth, it's like, so that, a very embarrassing moment for me, obviously. I've only talked about it a million times. I'm not embarrassed to talk about it anymore, because it was in the past, 2 years in the past, right? Shit happens. Pretty embarrassing at the time, but I've moved on from it, and I've overcome it, and, I'm still here, right?
You've overcome it, dude.
2 years later, this story of...
He got over it, but when he played H1Z1 in Teams Tuesday night, someone asked him in that party chat, "Oh, you're the guy that masturbated on stream," even though the guy kind of didn't really give a fuck. He was like, "Oh, some guy messaged me this and that." Dave's reaction, the next day was, "Oh, someone tried to troll me," but he moved past it, dude. It's funny. It's funny now. Okay.
A guy who accidentally left his webcam on with no audio in front of less than 100 people on YouTube, right? During an embarrassing moment, turns into this guy, completely nude, masturbating multiple times in front of thousands of children on the internet. And
no one said completely nude, though. No one has said he masturbated completely nude. Everyone knows that's not true. He's embellishing these lies, like okay. The second instance that he masturbated was during Mario Sunshine. You heard him off camera doing, "Oh," or whatever, right? Yeah, you could argue that he stretched or something, and that's fine. So he could say that was a exaggeration or a lie. That's fair enough. But saying fucking, "Oh, well, see, they said I was naked, I had candles set up," oh man, it's like no one has even said that. The most that people have said that he masturbated 2 times. That's the most I've seen of people stretch the truth.
Still does it, and he's a scumbag. It's just like, I read this shit, and I'm like, how the fuck do these people operate on a daily basis? Because the thing is, this is just about me. Can you imagine the stuff they believe? Can you imagine?
And then he talks about what they believe in, because, he doesn't want to talk about politics, dude, but he wants to get into other people's beliefs. Because they think that he masturbated multiple times and shit like that. Okay.
Right?
Right? Sound good?
This is just nuts. The kind of shit that people believe. It's one thing, alright, if you want to bring up, all right, Phil made a stupid tweet last week. Here it is. Fine. You're right. I did. That's something pertinent. That's something I can't dispute, and that's true. But for every one thing that I do bad, right, or one fuck up that I have, there's 4,000 things that people make up or over exaggerate and just say ridiculous shit. So why do you think, right? Why do you think that so many people who don't actually watch my streams and don't watch my videos on YouTube hate my guts? Because they know nothing about me, because they're actually that gullible. They believe all this dumb shit.
What if they did? But like a lot of times that we've shown from Dave is stuff that he said on stream, though. It's not like I'm sitting here not playing a video of Dave's and talking about it, and then, like, I'm showing you the video that I want to talk about. He's acting as if I don't play a video. I'm like, guys, you know that Dave, he kills animals in the backyard, and he takes money, and he goes and buys escorts, and then he does drugs. Like, I'm not sitting here making shit up, like, back to back to back. I'm playing a video, and I'm talking about what is said in the video that is on his channel. Like, what context do I need to understand what he's saying is a load of shit?
And again, if that is the case, can you imagine the stuff they believe in real life? Right? Not just about some guy playing games on the internet. Can you believe what they must believe? If ever you've wondered why the flat earth theory still holds water, now you know why.
Comparing this to flat earthers. Okay.
I mean, okay. Holy macaroni, these people, right? So anyway, that being said, guys, I certainly don't want to dwell on negativity. I'm just saying thank you. Because the bottom line is you guys are about. You know the kind of person I really am. And despite the fact that, yes, I have moments of weakness, kind of person I really am. And despite the fact that, yes, I have moments of weakness and moments of fault like any human.
I'm a human, dude. I'm a human. Come on. Give me some slack, dude. I'm a human. Like, oh, like how many times do we have to hear this? It literally means nothing now. It's like if someone who is accused of being a rapist gets caught multiple times, he's like, I'm only human. I'm only human, dude. It's like, what? You've done it multiple times. You know, it's just kind of dumb to sit there and constantly say, I'm only human, I'm only human, I'm sorry, I make mistakes. Like, it's not that even you make mistakes, you make the same mistake all the time in different ways. You don't ever learn from your mistakes. And then when someone brings up something else that they don't like about you, you say that, oh, you're lying, or you try to make some lie to defend yourself. The only time he ever takes responsibility for what he says is when he has to agree that what he did was a fuck up. But if he thinks that what he did was nothing wrong and someone else tells him that he fucked up, he will shit on that guy till the day he dies. Because I guarantee if that tweet did not get as viral as it did, and get all that attention that it did, Dave would not say that that was a mistake or that tweet was erroneous. He wouldn't. He would literally say, oh, this is my opinion, and fuck you if you disagree with it. He would fight that. He would believe that opinion to the end of time. But since a lot of people gave him shit for it, he's like, I made a boo-boo. I made a mistake online, dude. I'm only human. You can even tell there are some parts I've seen either I think yesterday when he was streaming, I think it was yesterday, that he sounds very, very passive-aggressive about having to be called out and having to change his opinion, because he talked about early copies yesterday, I think, and he said, oh, I don't want to get into that because you know how people get when I talk about that. And it's like, so you don't really feel anything about being called out or being wrong. It's just that he felt sorry for getting caught. He's so fucking fake. It's ridiculous. And he wants to say, oh, I'm human, I make mistakes, dude. You make the same fucking mistakes. But okay.
Mine get broadcast all over the internet and people cover them as if I'm some ginormous YouTuber or streamer with millions of viewers and views, when in reality I'm just some small-time guy. But since
small-time guy, he has, at this point, 395 subscribers. He gets, like, 400 views on a good day, maybe 500 if it's a really good day. He gets free games. he gets opportunities to get free games, and he's a Twitch partner. But he's not a big guy, dude. Okay.
Guy that they've liked to hone in on to over-exaggerate the negativity. I'm the guy who gets the negative press, but none of the positive, right? So,
I've said this before. What positive? What have you done that was positive, Dave? I can't really think of anything. Playing games? That's not really positive. Anyone can play video games. What positive have you done? I wonder if he's gonna tell us about the positive stuff he done in his career.
Where was everyone when I went back to Bloodborne, legitimately beat the game after being defeated by, two...
Oh, wow. Playing a game again makes you a good person. Wow, guys. I went back to play Nier Automata. I should get a Nobel Peace Prize for that. I mean, where's my parade? Why aren't people saying, Theo, you're amazing. You're playing Nier Automata on hard? Wow, you're so cool, dude. I'm playing Persona 5 again on hard. Where's my fucking parade, dude? Hashtag Theo is a great human on planet Earth because he's playing video games a second time, dude. Wow, what a great guy.
3 years ago, went back, destroyed all the DLC content, had a lot of fun. Where was everyone when I was legitimately reviewing and covering games while other people were spinning it in stupid ways to try to sell copies, instead of me for years, 10 years, being one of the most honest guys on the internet?
Anyone can do honest reviews. Everyone does them. That is literally the dumbest thing you can kind of sell yourself on. Like, I do honest reviews. Why aren't anyone talking about my honest reviews unlike everyone else? It's like, well, everyone else does honest reviews. I review Persona 5. Does that mean that I'm a liar because I am not DSP? I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird thing. Like, you can't really continue to say, I do honest reviews and no one else does it, because everyone does honest reviews.
Yeah.
But okay.
No one wants to talk about that. No one wants to remember back in the day when I used to have clout on YouTube, and I basically did, videos that got 600,000 views or more about certain, acts that were going through our government to try to screw up the internet. No one wants to talk about the positive.
Okay, where's the net neutrality video? Have you ever done that video? Come on, Dave. He only done, like, on Sopa and Pippa, but, like, I mean, come on. There's other, those aren't the only things that are harming the internet, dude. But, okay.
Everyone wants to say, oh, remember that time when Phil did this? Or, oh, remember when Phil did that stupid tweet? And then over-exaggerate to the negative. And sadly, that's the problem, is that the internet is a very toxic, negative place. People on the internet want to focus on the shortcomings of others because it makes them feel good about themselves, right? Because if there's a guy out there that masturbated multiple times on stream in front of thousands of children, he's in some kind of a crazy exhibitionist, obviously I feel
crazy
better
exhibitionist, what?
about themselves, right? Because if there's a guy out there that masturbated multiple times on stream in front of thousands of children, he's in some kind of a crazy exhibitionist, obviously I feel better about myself because I don't do that. And it's like, what? Wow. People are just fucking weird to believe some of the dumbest stuff you've ever heard, right? But it is what it is. Slander is slander. I've been defamed many thousands of times, and I still will in the future. It's not going to go away, and I know that. Dude. But I just want to say thank you to those of you who are here and...
Like, it's like, sometimes people get falsely accused of sexual misconduct or just any misconduct in general. And then they're like, oh, see, we're being slandered by these people, whatever. And DSP would come up like, me too. People say that I take money and shit. I'm a victim too, dude. And it's like, what? It's like he just wants to be the victim all the fucking time. He can never take responsibility for what he says.
Hang out with me every day and know the real me. And know that I'm not some kind of, some crazy deviant, right? Some disgusting individual who constantly is doing terrible things, right? That's the bottom line, is that, it's a fun time. If this was not a fun stream, if I wasn't a guy who you guys found interesting or entertaining or attractive in some way.
Attractive.
If these things were actually true that people said about me, do you think a single person would be here? Do you think I'd still be allowed on the internet at all? I'd be banned from everything.
What?
If these things were actually true that people said about me, do you think a single person would be here? Do you think I'd still be allowed on the internet at all? I'd be
Not everything we... Like, he always plays the extremes all the time. Like, just because, you know, we say things like, oh, well, DSP, he takes money and this and that, doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to be off the internet forever. I mean, he doesn't do anything that is that gross where he can't be on any platform. It's just with Twitch, he is really playing the line with how many times he begs for money. Like, he could kind of get away with tips because I don't think Twitch cares about tips, but you could argue that too. Sub goals I think Twitch allows, but again, he plays this line of begging money, and things that he doesn't need to. He literally is like, well, I need to pay my bills, dude. I need to pay the bills. You know, this and that. And he plays this line that if a Twitch affiliate were to do the exact same thing that as DSP has done, they probably would have been banned. Like, if I start streaming on Twitch and I start talking about paying my bills and stuff like that, I kind of have the suspicion that I'd probably lose my my channel if I did half the things DSP did. But since he's a partner, he gets some leniency on what he does. Like, the fact that he kind of threatened a 11-year-old kid in VR chat, I do think that should have gotten him off Twitch. But it didn't. If a Twitch affiliate did that, they'd probably lose their channel. But since DSP's a partner, he gets a little bit more leniency in comparison. And Twitch has always had this preferential treatment when it comes to that. But okay.
Be banned from everything. It's so stupid that people say this stuff.
And again, like, just because you don't get banned doesn't mean that what you're doing is acceptable behavior. That just means you're getting away with it. Like, just because, like, I could do something. Like, let's say the speed limit is 25, and I've been going 30 miles per hour in that zone. And I do that all the time. I do that every day. Never got in trouble. Then one day, a cop pulls me over, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I've been doing this every day. Why am I getting pulled over? This bullshit. I drive 30 miles per hour every day on this road, and I never got in trouble. What the fuck, dude? The fucking detractors. Like, that's a really bad gauge to measure if you're, not breaking the rules or whatever, because just because you didn't get in trouble doesn't mean you're not breaking terms of service, but whatever. Okay.
So anyway, thank you guys for your ongoing support. You know, 10 years. 10 years as a content creator. I've outlasted many people. I've been doing this longer than most people.
Who?
Including everyone bigger than me. And I'm still here, and I'm still enjoying doing it. So thank you guys for your support, okay? DSP is really cool.
Who did he out survive? Other failed Let's Players? I mean, I don't know. Is he gonna compare himself to Channel Awesome? I mean, they're still around. Nostalgia Critic's still making videos. Who's he comparing himself to? Who did he outlive? Okay.
Cheered again. And he says, what is your most embarrassing moment next to the accident? That would be it. I mean, no lie. People used to ask me back in the day, what was your most embarrassing moment? I'd be like, I don't really have one. Like, I don't really get embarrassed. Because the bottom line is we're all human and we're all fallible and we all make mistakes and we all have shortcomings, you know? And we do stupid things sometimes and, you know, what can you do? Sometimes it gets caught. Sometimes it doesn't, right? The one most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me on camera was, you know what, 2 years ago, the accident. Outside of that, I can't really think of anything that, you know, is too embarrassing. You might say, oh, but what about when you were doing those racist jokes? Yeah, of course. In 2010, so 8 years ago, when I was doing a different kind of gameplay style and a different kind of comedy, right? Much more risque I used to do back in the day. It was a different era. Back then, that comedy was funny. People actually found it, funny and interesting and didn't take offense that I was...
No one found the Dead Space 2 Space Nazi funny. No one thought that was funny. The only people that thought that was funny were people who are probably either edgelords or they're racist themselves or toxic. That's why Dave's chat is full of toxic people. Like, look at the people who he attracts. You know, he had Anonymous as a fan for a long time. You know, he was a mod, he was there, and he kept saying racist, toxic shit. But he doesn't want to talk about Anonymous. No. You know, Vidar is a crazy person, you know, as well. He attracts all these crazy, weird fucking people. But he's like, well, see, normal people like my humor, dude. No one thought his racial humor is funny. And we'll get a little bit more into that as this goes on, so...
doing comedy bits that were slightly... Remember I did the top 10 most racist moments back in the day? Would I do that today? Of course I wouldn't. Today's a totally different thing. People are much more sensitive.
People are much more sensitive. You know, just remember that. He thinks that people are more sensitive
much
now.
More,
Just wait.
What's the word? Now, I don't want to say that it's a negative thing. I'm just saying that in today's audience is much different. I mean, ask any major comedian. Ask Jerry Seinfeld. Ask Chris Rock. They've all said things about this. That modern audiences are much more sensitive and touchy to your criteria. And back in...
I don't know what Chris Rock said, but Seinfeld criticized campuses for not... for being overly sensitive, in the sense that, like, you know, you can't... You are constantly afraid to say anything in your comedy routine. But see, here's the difference, though. With Seinfeld, he told jokes that were either relatable or about something, and they were a little bit risque, sure, but you know, people were kind of overly sensitive with some of the jokes, and that's fine, but, you know, the line is really drawn on who's telling the joke, what kind of joke it is. Like, Seinfeld is a successful comedian. You know, I think, you know, the issue that he was going with college campuses is that around that time, you know, a lot of college students were kind of overreacting to a lot of topics that kind of made it a meme, to the point where it's like, oh, you know, you can't talk about what you want, but it's a very complex issue on what can be joked about and what can't be joked about, and it's kind of an interesting topic if you look into it. But a lot of comedians can get away with it because they usually are funny. And they usually have other people go over their material with. They don't just go off on the first idea they get in their heads. Like, South Park has a team of writers. When they make a joke, they have to go through, like, drafts of the joke. They go through standard practices. They see what works. They don't just go off on a rough draft of a joke and then just go with it. They refine it. You know, they see, okay, maybe this is a little too long. Maybe this goes on a little bit too much. Maybe we went a little bit overboard. I brought this up to Dave on his forums years ago, and he was like, no, you're wrong, Theo, you're wrong. And I was like, no, they do go over their scripts and their jokes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they remove from their episodes because they find it too offensive, but okay.
Back in the day, anything could be joked about and it was fine. Now the things that people used to joke about now have suddenly become taboo because of cultural norms and things kind of changing. So it's kind of the same thing, you know. Yeah, today I look back on the jokes I made in 2010 and I cringe and I say, yeah, for today's audiences that's not good, but back then it was fine and people liked it. You know, my popularity on YouTube was based on me making these off-the-cuff reactionary comments and jokes that people did not find offensive back then at all. They didn't. They thought they were funny. That's how I got my popularity on YouTube. It wasn't until years later that people decided to twist everything and say, oh, it feels a racist. But wait a minute, when I did those jokes back then...
He got kicked off of Blip for making racist jokes. No one had to, like, lie that hard to prove it. He made countless jokes, and the thing is that with, the space Nazi joke that he did, is that it went on for too long. Timing is everything in comedy. If you linger on a joke for too long, it's gonna lose the novelty, and it's gonna become annoying and offensive depending on the joke. If I start making a joke about someone and I'm like, oh, you're so stupid, man. Oh, that's dumb and stupid. And I kept making fun of their intelligence for like 10 minutes. They would probably want to punch me in the face. If I hang out with like there was a time in college. Story time, guys. I had two friends. One of them was black and the other guy was white, and he kept making racial jokes. And at first, you know, the guy thought it was funny. He kind of laughed, but the guy kept making the same joke for so long to the point where the guy had to bring him aside and be like, "Hey, man, you gotta cut the joke, man. It's getting a little bit more insulting and offensive than it was before. Can you just cut it? And he was like, oh, okay, and that was it. It wasn't like he sat there and was like, oh, you're a racist, oh man, kill him. But it was just like, okay, you're getting a little it's becoming a little much. With the comedy, Dave always kills his own jokes. He makes a joke, and there's like a few times where I genuinely laugh at a joke he does, and then a second after, he kills the joke. He gets a little greedy with the jokes. Like, he makes a joke, and then instead of just leaving it at that, he goes back and tries to make it funnier, and then he ends up killing the joke.
And no one was offended. It wasn't until 3, 4, 5 years later people look back on that and say, oh, see how offensive Phil was? But it wasn't offensive when I did it.
It was.
Cultural norms changed. You know what I mean? It's actually very funny.
No one changed their mind. Everyone said you're racist when you made the fucking joke. That's why you got kicked off of Blip.
Because the other day, Kat and I were just relaxing a little bit, and we were actually watching some Looney Tunes. I actually have some Looney Tunes.
In
my
you watch Looney Tunes, guys.
And we're watching these old Looney Tunes cartoons, right, from like the mid-19th or is it the 20th century, whatever the 1900s were. I always forget. But the mid-1900s, we're watching these Looney Tunes cartoons, and some of them have blatantly racist things in them. But all they are is they're racial stereotypes.
So racial stereotypes is supposed to be funny. Okay. Racial stereotypes are not funny. They're usually offensive. Dave, just because it's a stereotype doesn't mean that it's okay and it's funny. That's why a lot of people have issues with some representation in media, because it's a stereotype. Like, you know, it's like assuming, okay, well, all lesbians have short hair and they're fat and they're butch and they just talk about eating cheese. I don't fucking know. I'm not a fucking wizard at this, but you know what I mean. Like you know, stereotypes are not usually funny, and a lot of people find that offensive. And around that time, that era, not a lot of colored people and not a lot of people in that kind of spectrum had any power to kind of say that that's offensive or have any saying. You know, they were still fighting for equality at that time, and it was a much more racist and offensive era. And he's trying to say, well, see, that's okay, everyone loved it. No one liked it. It's just that no one had the power to criticize it. But okay, Dave.
That back then were not seen as offensive, but now they are, because now, oh my God, how dare! 2 years ago, I was watching this movie called Holiday Inn. Okay, this is a very popular movie in the United States, starring a lot of the big movie stars, singers, musicians of the time. It was a musical, and there's a whole number, okay, where all white people dress up in blackface and do a whole number in blackface.
That is racist. And the thing is, if you look at the history of blackface, you could tell the origins of blackface and the whole thing about it is not one of comedy. It's pretty racist. But we don't want to talk about that, right? Because that means that we're sensitive, dude.
Back then, that was okay. Today, we're massively offended. How dare they do that? But yet, back then, that was okay. And that's what I mean. Times change. And
it wasn't okay.
Who's been on YouTube for so long, 10 years, that I firsthand saw 3 different generations of people pass through. There was the original group when I started. There was kind of the middle group, I'd say from like 2012 to 2014-ish, 2015-ish. And then there's like 2015 to now, 3 completely separate, different generations of people watching YouTube videos that are different kinds of culture. And, you know, again, when I started, that kind of, you know, what maybe now seen as offensive kind of racial humor was funny.
Funny, dude.
So anyway, I've gone out on a huge tangent here now. But yeah, that's the deal, is that times change. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
So,
you know what
do
I mean,
I have embarrassing moments outside of the accident? Not really. No, I don't look back on stuff I did 8+ years ago and say, oh man, I'm so embarrassed. No, that was shit in the past. You know, water under the bridge, you move on. Now today, would you ever hear me doing this kind of humor? Of course not. Things change, right?
Yeah.
Jay Kramer cheers said,
now he's more of an old baby. He's a bitch, dude.
Bluntly, the racist thing that you're talking about And he's talking about the thing that I was talking about from years and years ago. And by the way, I wasn't addressing one thing. Apparently he is. He's saying, when Fred
So he did multiple racist things in the past. Okay.
Norris on a Howard Stern show would do it. He's a genius on the show. It isn't funny when someone else does it. Well, I kind of agree with you now. But the thing is, again, back in the day when I did it, people really weren't offended. Again, they weren't. They thought it was funny. They understood the joke. They knew I wasn't being...
What was the joke? Like, Howard Stern did a joke, I guess, like, he got that from Howard Stern. Howard Stern wasn't, like, curb stomping enemies in the radio show, like, oh, we're gonna do whatever. He was fucking doing all this stuff. He was killing necromorphs and all this stuff, and saying that these, like... But of course, he's the victim. Everyone loved that joke. Everyone loved it. That's Blip TV especially loved it. Blip TV wanted him to be their #1 spokesperson for their website.
Being serious. As I said back in the day, 8+ years ago, I was an equal opportunity jokester, an equal opportunity offender. I would make fun of all different races, creeds, and nationalities.
I want you to go back and look at the kind of jokes he did towards Italians. So, like, you know, when it was black people, oh, you know, there's gonna be trouble. There's, you know, he said stuff like that. He makes fun of all these racism, like ching chong ching, whatever, with Asians, Chinese people. Like, look at his MGS1 playthrough, Sleeping Dogs, etc. Then you go to see how he makes fun of Italians. Okay, this is Italian jokes, dude. This is how he makes fun of Italians. Heh, spaghetti! Oh, they eat pizza, dude. Man, they're fat, dude. Spinoli! It's like fucking nothing. The jokes he makes towards Italians are like fucking petty nonsense that's like not even as offensive as the Jew jokes he did in Dead Space. Not as offensive as his usual commentary when he brings up black people. It's not as offensive as Asians that he brings up in his fucking videos. When he makes fun of Italians, it's like he's like very watered down and like not offensive at all to his own fucking people. So this whole I'm an equal opportunity jokester is fucking garbage because he doesn't make fun of Italians as much as he makes fun of any other race. So this is a blatant lie that he's trying to push here.
Depending on what was going on in a video game. So back then, you know, no one really took offense. All of a sudden today, 8 years later, of course it's offensive now to do that shit. You know what I mean? But I get
it was always offensive. If you did that on public television, or if you did that just in general, people are gonna say that you're a fucking Nazi. He would have gotten the same kind of treatment regardless. It's not that, oh, people are sensitive, dude. It's just that it's fucking racist. Dumbass. I mean, I don't think Judy isn't really a race, but it's bigotry is what it is. He says a lot of bigoted things. I don't, and I've always said this. I don't think DSP is like a, you know, oh, I'm gonna wear the KKK outfit kind of racist. I don't think he's maliciously racist. I just think he's ignorant, and he's just not aware of the kind of jokes he's making, how other people can perceive them. It's just kind of dumb how he says these things and doesn't really see them as offensive as they really are, you know? But whatever.
The fact that, yeah, you're right, the original person who did it was a guy on a radio show. He did it live, and it got incredibly popular. People loved the bit. Then I tried to do it on YouTube, and it blows up in my face, I guess. Okay, orcs are dorks. Just cheered. I don't know why I said it like that. Orcs are dorks. Just cheered and said, what was your reaction after you found out people caught you to the whole accident on camera? Well, the initial reaction was, this sucks. Obviously, word's going to get out within moments, and the whole internet's going to know. And what's going to happen? Because now, you know, am I going to get in trouble for this? You know, is my livelihood at stake? Keep in mind, guys, you know, my being able to post videos and stream is basically my 100% of my income. So if I can't do that, I lose everything. So I was terrified. But then when I realized what it really was, it wasn't like there was nudity, there was no audio. It was just a few moments of seeing my face in a ridiculous, embarrassing, you know, position. I looked like an idiot, right? I was like, this isn't bad at all.
Just because this makes no sense. He's saying that, oh, because I wasn't naked on camera, blah blah blah, but he uploaded a fucking video, two videos of him taking a shower. Dave, those are videos where you're fucking naked. But oh no, that's okay, dude, because it's tits up, dude. Come on.
And so I fessed up to it, and I said, you know what? Yeah, it happened. It was really stupid. Of course, I'm going to have to put up with this for weeks and weeks and months and years and years and lifetimes and lifetimes. Even if I died and reincarnated as something else, someone will probably realize it's me and make fun of me for this, okay? But it's not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal, dude.
You know, it's a completely different situation from what people actually say it was. You know, when you hear that someone, you know, might have masturbated on camera, you think, oh my God, right? Where they were naked and this was a sexual act and they were, you know, this is a horrible thing. That's not even what happened at all. It's completely a different situation. It was a funny situation that people laugh at. It wasn't horrendous.
Yeah, people laughed at it. Yeah, they didn't, like, groan in disgust or be like, oh, this is fucking nasty. No, they laughed. You know, when you see someone masturbate, you laugh at that. Okay.
God, world-ending, terrible situation. So I did not, you know, react. I did not react in really too negative of a manner. I just realized what it was, and I actually tweeted and fessed up about it. And that was it. And then, of course, people just brought it up at length for a bajillion times. And that was it. I just moved on with my normal life, and it really didn't affect that much. Quite frankly, it didn't. It really didn't affect that much at all. So...
It didn't affect that much, except everyone brings it up and says, oh, this is the guy that masturbates on stream multiple times, and this and that. Yeah, it didn't affect him that much, except he has to explain every time that it was an accident. And how do you accidentally masturbate on camera? I mean, I can understand accidentally leaving the face cam on. Okay, but like, how do you like, okay, I'm gonna sit down. Oops, I'm oh, this is a mistake, dude, this is an accident, dude. Okay.
Okay. DSP is really cool, cheered again. He says, I feel like today's generation is one of the more susceptible generations. With the internet archiving everything, it's a lot more critical era with potential for like and self-damage. I agree.
Okay. The other thing is with this is that the risk of the internet ruining your life and this and that is a little more easy, I guess, to ruin your life. But at the same time, if let's say that you hang out with your friends at a bar, and you start saying all these, like, risky things, you start expressing white supremacy mentality and this and that, you know, your friend is going to hear that, and then some other extra people are going to hear that, and then the word is going to travel around, and everyone's going to be like, holy fuck, that guy is a fucking, you know, toxic person, I don't want to be anywhere near him. It's just that the internet makes it go a lot faster. That's the difference. Just because the internet wasn't a thing back then doesn't mean that, you know, back then everyone could say whatever they want and there'd be no repercussions. It's just that the repercussions happened a lot slower because word would travel through mouth to mouth, you know, telephone to telephone, whatever. You know, if I go to a office space, let's say I work in an office and I talk to my friends that I work with, and I start expressing risky opinions and stuff like that, I'm probably going to lose my job if I did that. The internet it's like you just have to be more careful because, you know, people are going to call you out like they would in real life. If you can't handle being called out online, you can't handle being called out in real life. It's just, you know, you're being connected to other people, and there's no way you could say whatever you want online and then not to have that affect your real life.
Everything that you do is chronicled on the internet. It makes it a lot more of an era where things are risky. I'm trying to think of the right wording here. It's definitely different. Like, you know, when I was growing up, there was no internet. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, you have an embarrassing moment. You do something stupid. Big deal. Right? Who cares?
Yeah, because if you do something embarrassing and everyone sees it, it's not like that they're going to constantly mention it in real life, right? No. If you do something embarrassing at school, no one at school is going to talk about it, right? Okay.
Deal. But now it's like if someone catches it and puts it on the internet, now you're completely embarrassed. Now, the average person still kind of doesn't care. Maybe they'll have initial embarrassment, but after that doesn't matter anymore. You go back to your normal life, right? But for someone like me, where my life is based off of having an internet presence, I need to have people come and watch my streams and watch my videos. That's how I make my living.
I need that money.
I have to live this down every single day. Some people can't do that, man. Some people get so embarrassed when something happens, they just can't live it down. Much like people say, how do you get in front of a camera, in front of hundreds to thousands of people and do what you do? And I say, it doesn't bother me. It's not that big of a deal. I've had, so much experience in life with public speaking, with getting in front of people and leading projects at work and playing Street Fighter in front of thousands of people at EVO. That ain't that big of a deal for me, man. It's just not. It's easy to do for me. I can do it. Even webcams. People, how do you be on webcam every day and people see your face? It ain't a big deal. And so when all this stuff happens, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. You just move on, and eventually, when you're someone who works every day, you put out content every day, people who actually know you, know the real you, realize that those embarrassing moments or those moments of weakness or negativity are the rarity. But
people who you applied, a job for and all that, and they're not gonna sit there and be like, I know the real you, dude. First impressions are everything. If their first impression of you is, oh, this guy masturbated on stream, no, then okay.
Are the exception to the rule that in general, watching my streams is fun, right? Watching my streams is entertaining. Watching my streams is positive. Yes, there are negative moments, but that's not the norm, right? So there you go. 19-year-old girl, don't know, interesting name. 19-year-old girl has cheered. I said, do you remember what you were thinking about when you were doing the act on camera? No, I don't. I've said this many times. I have no idea. As I said, I'm not a person who, I lit some candles.
Who does this when they masturbate? Oh, I gotta masturbate. Okay, I'm gonna get some candles out. Gonna make it nice and perfect so my dick can work. Oh, this is a perfect atmosphere. Oh, let me turn on some. Who fucking does this? Dude, you're fucking masturbating. You're not fucking having sex with your wife. I mean, come on, what the fuck?
I had many aroma oils going in my house. I had mood lighting, aroma beads, aromatherapy. I had a bubble bath brewing. And then the act happened, and then, no, it's ridiculous.
Look how nervous he is to really answer the question, because all that person was asking was pretty much, what were you jerking off to? And he's like, well, I don't remember, because I don't put candles. I don't do a big setup for the thing, so I don't know, dude. I don't do a special thing. Just say you don't know what you don't remember. It's been 2 years. Just say you don't remember. I don't remember what I was jerking off to. It's that easy, Dave. You don't have to come up with a story with how you don't set up aroma candles and bubble baths and shit, because no one fucking does that. It makes it sound as if the thing he jerks off to is something really, 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 really fucking kinky and shit, which, if you watch his Ultra Street Fighter 2 videos and when he picks E Honda, oh, you'll get ideas. You'll get ideas of what he jerks off to. I tell you what. I guarantee if you watch it, you're gonna be like, it's gonna make you think.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. No, I don't remember. It was just a one-time throwaway thing. It's not a big deal.
Not a big deal. Okay, let's go to. Oh, I'm gonna hate myself for doing this because that. Let's see. Gonna hide this. Hope. Okay. No, cancel. I just want to see the pre-stream. I want to go to a little bit of the pre-stream. I just don't want to see anything having to do with
Someone tipped me and said, Phil, I'm actively going to eat the processing fee, so I know you're getting my. Is let us go through shout-outs for people who have contributed.
Okay, let's do the shout-outs.
Via cheer subs or tips.
This is a little bonus.
So during today's stream. Sound good?
Sound good?
Alright, so let me actually scroll all the way down here. And I do want to say, wow, okay, here we go. So, ladies and gents, the cool thing is that there are people
the
who
cool
enjoy
thing.
my content so much, my daily live streams and my on-demand videos. They come by the stream when I'm not even live. They'll come by the channel and they'll leave a cheer, sub, or tip when I'm not even here, which is pretty cool. So what I want to say is thank you to those who do overnight leave me contributions. It is much appreciated that you guys keep me in mind when I'm not even live broadcasting. All right. We have two such individuals today. First of all, we had Golden Colts, who did a 105-bit cheer overnight.
Golden Cucks. Now, everyone said, "Oh, Golden Cucks is done cheering and shit." I was like, "No, he said he was taking a break. He got a job, dude. But he was probably trying to get more beer and this and that because he does drink. He's a drunk dude. Sound good?
Party horn emote.
Party horn.
And then we had an anonymous dollar tip who asked an interesting question. They said, so if I'm doing the math correctly, I'm doing a tip right now without hitting a button.
And doing interesting math. So yesterday he was talking about tips for no reason, and I was like, oh, see, I can't do a tip goal because it's the same excuse with Patreon, pretty much, because since PayPal gets a cut, he can't do an exact amount because he won't get the actual amount. Which is fucking dumb. Just sit there and be like, okay, well, if PayPal gets roughly between $1 to $5 with tax, I'll just add $5 to the goal. Just be like, okay, so if it's a $5 tip goal, let's say, he could just do $10 tip goal. That way he'll still get $5. Can't do that, that's too much math. He wants to get the full amount. It's really fucking dumb. And it's greedy. He could do a tip goal and just go with what is hit on the board. He doesn't have to sit there and be like, okay, we need to hit the exact amount, and I gotta get that amount. Like, it's really fucking dumb. Just make an account, just make a tip goal that includes the fucking tax then. But okay.
Button saying that I'm going to pay the processing fee. So in the reality, I'm actually giving you 76 cents instead of the actual $1 that it says in my pop-up message. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Whoever gave me this anonymous dollar tip overnight, that is 100% correct. What happens when you leave me a tip is that there's a processing fee via PayPal. Now, it's different depending on a few factors. Number one, how much you're tipping me, okay?
Notice that this is interesting to Dave. You want to know why it's interesting? Because he's expecting or hoping to tell his slaves, oh, well, see, you're really paying this much, dude. You got to add a little bit of change so I get all the money, dude. You gotta give me all the money.
Where you live and how you're paying, because I'm to understand people in different countries and paying via different methods pay different processing fees. And number three, whether or not you actively choose to eat that processing fee and pay it up front or not. So I'll give you an example. Yesterday, someone tipped me and said, Phil, I'm actively going to eat the processing fee so I know you're getting my full tip. That's awesome that people do that, but most people never do. Most people that tip me, they'll say, oh, I want to tip Phil $1, and they just hit it, and it's done, and I get 67 cents.
Oh,
sometimes
wow,
I get
dude.
66. Don't ask me why. Sometimes it's different. But it's different.
Because
that's how the
PayPal
process works.
takes a cut?
A lot of people see me getting all these tips, like, wow, Phil really got a lot of tips today. Well, in reality, usually I got anywhere from 10 to 30% less.
Okay, so that $1,000 tip he got for Christmas, you're telling me that, oh, well, I didn't make a full 1,000. I probably made like 900, dude, so I don't make a lot of money on tips. Dude. Just making, like, more than $10 is a lot of fucking money. I mean, it's not like, oh, he gets $18, let's say, out of a $20 tip. Yeah, that's not, like, luxurious, but he makes more money than the average Twitch streamer. He makes more money than I do. Just saying.
Than what you guys actually see in these pop-up messages. But it's still appreciated, and I'm still happy for what I get. But, I mean, yeah, that is the reality of the situation, is that what you see in the pop-up message is not always accurate to what I receive. So, yes, the anonymous tipper, you got it right on the head. I received 67 cents for your $1 tip. There you go.
Knocked down the microphone.
So now let's move on to people who cheered, subbed, and tipped here during the stream while it was live. Let's get some shout-outs in for them. So we start off with Eternal Napalm, who resubscribed to the channel for the 4th month in a row. and says, excited for another amazing exclusive tomorrow with Detroit Become Human. I think it's going to be stellar. I'm hearing great stuff about it.
Yeah.
Well,
Detroit, baby.
The thing is, I love Quantic Dream games. I just do. And even if they're not stellar, like, for example, Beyond Two Souls, a lot of people were very critical of that game. They said, you know...
Dave is the only person that watches... that plays David Cage games and unironically thinks that they're good games. I loved Heavy Rain because the accents were awful and just so funny how bad it is. The story was really dumb. Again, made it funny. All this other stuff. It was hilarious. Beyond Two Souls sucked because it was just boring. I didn't really. I hated that game because there was nothing to make fun of, and that game was awful. And Detroit Becomes Human, I'm hoping, is as goofy and dumb and terrible as people are saying it is. I love terrible shit because it's a fucking train wreck. I love David Cage games, ironically. So I'm amazed how Dave thinks that David Cage games are, like, really good when they're garbage games to begin with. But okay.
You know what? Unlike Heavy Rain, the last game from Quantic Dream before that one, it didn't really seem like your choices affected that much. I mean, there were maybe one or two major cutscenes or scenes that didn't even happen or changed because of your choices. And, of course, the ending. You can directly affect the ending in a big way. But that being said, it wasn't necessarily like you could get major characters killed. There was no major, you know what I mean? There was no insanely huge difference between what happened in the game dependent on your choices. And I do agree with that, because I replayed it twice, and knowing the different choices, you know, and doing them, yes, there were some scenes that were very different, but at the same time, there were some scenes that didn't really overall affect the story that much. So I agree. But you know what? I loved playing Beyond Two Souls, and people loved the playthrough, even though it may not have been the most riveting, you know, story-changing dialogue or plot line if you did different choices. I still loved it. I get the feeling that Detroit Become Human will be that kind of game. It'll be a very fun playthrough for those watching on stream and on YouTube. So I certainly hope you guys will join me starting tomorrow for the fun. You know, tomorrow and then Sunday and then Monday. 3 straight days of Detroit fun. And we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see what they've done with their next outing. Okay? All right. Shout out to AES, who cheered and said, are you ready for the Sims 4 expansion packs? Fun factor will be higher than God of War, Spider-Man, and The Last of Us 2. Kappa. Yeah, if you guys can believe it.
Oh my god, these Kappas.
They're still releasing expansion packs for The Sims 4. You may be saying, huh? Yeah, I know. The Sims 4, didn't it come out in late 2015? I think it did. I think it was late fall of 2015. Here we are 3 years later. They still think people are actively going to play this game and buy the packs. Although, quite frankly, I thought they would keep making the packs if people weren't buying them. So there obviously is some kind of an installed customer base there that just by default buy everything Sims. But The Sims 4 was a huge disappointment for people who were fans of The Sims. And for me, playing it, I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was alright. But I wasn't, like, in love with it once I had played it once or twice.
Wasn't his ex, wasn't Leanna a huge fan of Sims? I could have sworn he got Sims 4 because Leanna, like, talked it up pretty bigly, dude.
Simulating,
whatever.
You know, a family and then kind of the offspring of the family. I was like, what else do I do here? You know, like, there's really nothing else going on in the game. It's not very interesting. After you do, like, 1 or 2 generations, there's nothing more to do. Of course, I'm sure if I had spent $400 extra buying all the expansion packs, there'd be way more content in the game, but I just didn't see the point.
Isn't that the point of fucking expansion packs and Sims? Like, you do the initial game, and then it's like, well, there's nothing else to do. Okay, here's an expansion pack to do more stuff with the game. Okay.
I can't believe people are still talking about The Sims. I mean, I thought The Sims died with The Sims 4, with, you know, how poorly received it was. But apparently The Sims is still alive and well. They're probably making The Sims 5. I almost guarantee you they're making The Sims 5.
Oh, a franchise that makes money is going to get a 5th game? Whoa.
Why is Nintendo focusing on things other than games, like the Labo? I think they hoped the Labo would catch...
What a bait fucking top. We're going to talk about Nintendo again. DSP is, like, the least qualified person to talk about Nintendo. He's terrible. He's terrible at talking about Nintendo. Why have him talk about it? He's just going to say the same shit we expect him to say. Oh, Nintendo is a gimmick company. Oh, they're for the kiddies, dude. Okay.
Catch on like amiibos, but they should really focus on games rather than...
They have No More Heroes 3, Bayonetta 3. Didn't they release like a Kirby game a few weeks ago? Or like a month ago or whatever? They got, what else? Super Smash Brothers. Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, even though that's a re-release, but okay. And there's E3 coming up, so they're gonna announce more fucking games. They also announced a new Pokemon game. Oh, but they're not focusing on games, dude. His fans are either trolling him with this nonsense, or they're just as dumb as he is.
And being a toy company. Do you have any thoughts?
They were a toy company, though. Okay.
Like, you guys already know, if you've been a long-time viewer of mine, yeah, I do believe that Nintendo should be focusing on making great games and real reasons to buy the Switch and have robust gameplay experiences with the Switch, not gimmicks to get a new audience to buy the Switch who normally wouldn't buy it, you know? The Labo is a failed experiment.
They need to find new gimmicks. Okay. The Switch is portable. Well, this is a gimmick. We don't need gimmicks. Nintendo needs to stop with the gimmicks. Let's hear that again.
If you guys have not been buy it, you know, gimmicks and have robust gameplay experiences with the Switch, not gimmicks to get a new audience to buy.
But isn't what he just said basically gimmicks though?
The Switch experiences with the Switch, real reasons to buy the Switch and have robust gameplay experiences with the Switch, not gimmicks.
So, taking the Switch anywhere on the go is not a robust experience? That's pretty robust. You could play a game at home, and like, okay, oh, I need to go somewhere, then take the Switch away, and then you could play wherever you want. That's not a robust experience. I think that's a pretty robust experience, if you, TBH.
To get a new audience to buy the Switch who normally wouldn't buy it, you know? The Labo is a failed experiment. If you guys have not heard the sales results, it was hilarious because even though the Labo sold a lot in Japan, they only sold through 30% of their stock. 30%. So they overproduced the hell out of this thing, thinking it was going to be a white-hot success. Everyone was...
I literally don't think Nintendo thought it was going to be a white-hot success. I don't know why DSP loves saying white-hot. He just loves it. And every time he says that, I said it before, it just comes off sexual. It comes off sexual. But... yeah, I don't even think Nintendo thought that the Labo was going to be a huge success, though. I just thought they were like, okay, we're going to make this, okay, if it sells, it sells, if it doesn't, it doesn't, who cares? It was kind of, I think they just made it just so that they could get it for their kids, so they could kind of build things, and it's kind of like why parents buy their kids Legos. And Legos are expensive, too. Legos aren't cheap. But, okay.
Was going to buy this thing because it's a new innovative gimmick from Nintendo that everyone must have, and in reality people did not get fooled, you know. And the thing is, when you say, oh, only 30%, you got to realize that includes everyone who bought it to review it. So any YouTuber, any streamer, anyone who worked for gaming media who ran out and bought it, which is probably constitutes hundreds of people if not more, you know, were part of that initial group, and they only sold 30% of their stock. So out there right now, and I know because I've seen it firsthand, there are shelves completely full of cardboard foldouts that are being sold for $70 and $80 because no one bought it. I just went to my local Target a couple weeks ago, and the thing was like insane. It was a big area for it. The Nintendo Labo, they had their own display, and the whole thing was full. Not a single one had been purchased. Now I'm looking at it like, what the fuck was Nintendo thinking? Like, why did they think this was going to sell? This is wild that they, you know. It's one thing if you're going to sell little figurines that are collectibles and they could become like a viral thing.
Oh, now he's a little bit lenient on the amiibos, even though he shat on the amiibos so hardcore before. Okay. Okay, Dave.
Folding cardboard is not fun.
Folding cardboard's not fun, but you just said to get your kids cardboard boxes, though. He had told people, oh, get cardboard boxes for your kids instead. Now it's, oh, don't, kids don't like folding cardboard. Then why give them a cardboard box, Dave?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You know, it's an art and craft thing. Some people like it. It's not a mainstream thing people enjoy. Pretty ridiculous.
Pretty ridiculous, dude.
So, that being said, I'm not surprised that the Labo has been a failure so far. It is what it is, I guess. We all made fun of it. Everyone laughed at me for making fun of it, yet it didn't sell. So figure that one out.
They weren't making fun of you because...
I mean, I've said this for years. I'll say it again. Yes, Nintendo is good at doing gimmicks. Motion controls. Stupid giant touch screens. A portable tablet of gaming instead of an actual home console. Oh, look, we can make...
Because the PS4 isn't a gimmick. Because the touchpad on the PS4 isn't a gimmick? Okay. Yeah, alright.
Cardboard that interacts with games. Oh, look, we have little figurines.
What about your VR, buddy?
Games. That's all well and good, but at the end of the day, you have to have good games. The good news is Nintendo does. If Nintendo had all bad games, their system would not sell. But they make great first-party titles. We all know this. Mario Odyssey was my pick for Game of the Year 2017, so I think we all know, how I do truly feel about Nintendo. I love the games.
Okay, pick the mainstream Nintendo game. See, I love Nintendo. I'm not a hater, dude. He picked the most, easiest game everyone would put on the Game of the Year list for Nintendo. He didn't play Splatoon 2, so he didn't know if he would like that game more. He might have liked that game more than Mario Odyssey. Wouldn't know. He found a lot of excuses to not play Bayonetta 3, which he claimed he likes the franchise, but doesn't want to play Bayonetta 3. But he's not a Nintendo hater, dude. Okay. Okay.
It gets so lost in the shuffle of all of their nonsense, right?
And
unless you're a hardcore fanboy of Nintendo who runs out and buys every little piece of everything they do to be a part of this inclusive culture.
Inclusive culture? What the fuck does that mean? It's fucking video games. You buy fucking a Switch, it's like, oh, well, you're in an inclusive culture. Oh, okay. I mean, I think having the mentality of exclusives and oh, this company's better than this company is pretty inclusive. TBH.
Being an outsider is kind of funny. You just kind of laugh at the silly stuff that they do and say, man, I don't know what they were thinking here or there. But all that being said, we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens together, guys. Moving forward with Nintendo. Let's see how they do. I would love for Nintendo to be successful for the right reasons. Like when I hear, oh, Nintendo sold a ridiculous amount of Mario Odyssey and made a lot of money. Great! That game's amazing. When I hear, oh, Nintendo can't sell games or consoles for shit, but they were saved because they sold Amiibos for 2 years, I say, that's bad.
That's bad. It makes collectibles that can be used in a game. That's bad, dude. They should only just make one thing. They should just make games. But look at me. I'm a successful streamer. I diversified my revenue. So if Nintendo tries to diversify their revenue, that's bad. They shouldn't diversify their revenue. But DSP, who has 5 sources of revenue, that's okay. That's a business decision. Okay, Dave.
So let's see moving forward what they did. Okay, AES cheered again. He said, "You're going to try the Mario Tennis tournament on June 1st. It's free." No. I'm not getting Mario Tennis. I've never
play it for free. No.
Been a fan of the Mario Tennis series. I played it once ever.
He's not a DSP. He's not a Nintendo hater, dude.
I thought, wow, it's tennis. Wow.
But it doesn't play like fucking tennis. You have items. You have okay.
Tennis. It's fun to play against a friend, and I don't care about this game.
He can't play against Cat, dude. He can't. Okay. Cat doesn't like playing video games. I mean, they need to find a special video game to play. Okay, they need a special event, dude.
So there you go. Yeah, I don't care about Mario Tennis. It's just one of those games. It is a first-party Nintendo title. I'm sure it'll have a lot of attention to detail. It'll have a lot of production value. If you like tennis, you'll probably enjoy the game. I don't like tennis, so I probably am not going to be playing it.
How do you not like tennis? Whatever.
Deluxe Swine did a 100-bit cheer and says, "I've been a fan for a long time."
I was expecting him to say Deluxe Swine. I think this is a troll. This is a detractor, but he didn't say it. So I'm surprised with that. I was pretty sure he was going to say this guy might be a detractor.
Refrain from cheering as often as I'm able to.
No, his chat says fuck Amiibos. And yeah, Eternal Napalm brings up Metroid Prime 4. It got Metroid Prime 4. No games. Okay.
Due to backlash at chat, sometimes they give towards individuals who cheer frequently. It's uncomfortable when people start calling someone an attention whore for wanting to contribute towards the stream. Any thoughts? First of all,
wait. I want to hear this again. This is
backlash at chat. Sometimes they fan for a long time. I've refrained from cheering as often as I'm able to due to backlash at chat. Sometimes they give towards individuals who cheer frequently. It's uncomfortable when people start calling someone an attention whore for...
Dude, it is an attention whore. If you want to support a streamer, that's fine. Just give them your bits. Cheering 25 bits, 25 bits, 25 bits, 25 bits, 25 bits, 25 bits, back to 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 back, saying dumb shit is a fucking attention whore. Because you're spamming fucking cheers. You could take all those 25-bit cheers and send them off as one cheer. You don't need to keep doing constant cheers. It is a fucking attention whore. This guy, I'm hoping it's just bait. I hope it's just bait.
For wanting to contribute towards the stream. Any thoughts? First of all, no one in the stream chat whatsoever should be doing that. And if there is someone who is being a jerk, you should call to the attention of the mods, and the mods will take care of it.
Oh, great. So if you say, hey man, stop spamming cheers, you'll get banned. Great.
Users, period, for any reason. So if you cheer and all of a sudden you get people messaging you and you get people, you know, talking to you in stream chat negatively, oh, you're just an attention whore. They're going to get moderated. That's fucked up. They shouldn't be doing that at all. All right? So that's number one.
But you got annoyed with Swaggin spamming fucking joke cheers, Dave. Should you get banned too? Because you were like, ugh, stop saying jokes, Wagons. Okay. Okay.
Two, if you're getting harassed by people, not in the stream chat, but just you're getting random PMs or whatever, yes, these are trolls. These are idiots who basically are attacking people who contribute on my streams. All you can do is ignore them. You can actually set them to ignore on Twitch so that you cannot see their private messages. You could turn off your whisperers. There's a lot of things you can do. You can report them to Twitch and get them banned, because if they do that and they harass you, they're breaking the terms of service of Twitch, and you should actively try to get them banned so they don't keep doing that to you and other people. All right.
Didn't he say that that reporting doesn't do anything?
Who contributes to what? You know what I mean? It's not. It's none of anyone's business. If you go cheer anyone else's channel and you come cheer here, if you subscribe to someone else's channel.
But his mods and himself gets really petty when you come in with a Tevin emote. If you subscribe to Tevin and you start, you know, posting emotes from his channel or whatever, you get banned immediately. But it shouldn't matter where you subscribe to. But if you just subscribe to the detractor channels, then you'll get into hot water. Okay.
Or you subscribe here. If you tip someone else, you tip me. That's none of anyone's business at all. And no one has the right to criticize you or yell at you or call you names or insult you for doing it. It's not a practice that's allowed, and I'm not going to stand up for it, all right? So, it's very simple. Block these annoying people, and if they are doing it repeatedly in the stream chat itself, notify a moderator, and the moderator will take care of it for you. All right? There you go. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, dude.
Washington Sasquatch cheered and said, Detroit Become Human is getting bad reviews. Story is unbelievable, and Marcus is boring.
Uh-oh.
Delightful. Guess what? Beyond Two Souls got bad reviews, and I loved it. So I don't give a shit what modern reviewers say about these games. I have enjoyed them. I'm going to play it at face value, and I am not going to pull punches if I do feel...
So this is the usual DSP review cycle. He will either... It's always this... He always goes down one of these two paths. He will either white knight the fuck out of a game, to the point where it's kind of like God of War, where he's like incredibly like sucking the game's dick. Or he will kind of gradually start to shit on it and agree with the people he said he doesn't care about. It's, you know, yeah, some people might do that as well. Like, I like games that reviewers hate. I hate games reviewers like. That shit does happen. But, I mean, I don't really go out of my way to shit on reviewers for what they do. It's just Dave is very, very weird when it comes to that kind of stuff. He always has these two options. It's either he sides with the people who he criticizes, or he just goes down on his knees and goes downtown on a game.
Sucks, then I'll let you know. But if the game's good, then I'll also let you know. We'll find out firsthand starting tomorrow.
Or whatever.
This is why I don't wholeheartedly believe everything I hear from a reviewer.
Okay.
Sedella cheered and said, hoping H1Z1 works for you today. Well, so do I. Obviously, I want the game to work. I prefer if the game worked.
You know what's funny is that he could have played Yakuza 6 yesterday, but he refused to play it because he was like, oh, the people who come here to watch Yakuza 6 are not watching. But the people who watch Yakuza 6 on the nighttime streams are the same people that watch Yakuza 6, that watch the streams anyway. They were already in chat, but okay.
So that we can have fun, because remember, keep in mind, not only am I going to play H1Z1 after I finish Yakuza 6 here on stream, now I'm going to try to play it again later tonight as well. So if this thing doesn't work, we're going to have a big dud of a stream today. Okay. Fred Flintstone Cheer, he says, I'm watching this from work. Seems good. Nothing ever happens as a security guard. I look at computer screens all day anyways. Well, let's just hope that while you're watching my stream, the Hamburglar doesn't sneak by your security camera and rob all the food from the Wendy's that you're defending there or whatever. Just, you know, be sure to do your job when you watch my streams. I do appreciate that you watch my stuff during the day, but be sure to actually do your job too, you know. Don't want to get you in trouble. Okay. Jason Lee has cheered. He says, I'm worried about your Detroit playthrough. It's a story-heavy game. Your God of War 4 streams on Twitch had low views. What's to prevent that from happening with Detroit when it's even more story-based? It had nothing to do with it being story-based at all. Jason Lee, you missed the point. God of War was a huge...
It had nothing to do being story-based. But he kept going on about how people didn't want to get spoiled. Getting spoiled is, like, related to the story, Dave.
Huge, hyped game that received pretty much the most positive reviews of any game in like the past 3 years. It was insanely highly rated by advanced reviews, and everyone literally said, that's it, I'm playing it. There were people who only owned an Xbox One who ran out and bought a PS4 for the first time to play God of War, and people collectively played it together, all right? Basically all at the same time over the course of a week or 2 weeks for themselves, and tried to stay away, at least my viewership, tried to stay away from spoilers on the internet and didn't really watch the streams, I'd say, for the first week that I played it, because they didn't want to get spoiled on the game. I totally understand that. All right? I 100% understand that.
But that can't happen with Detroit Become Human? Detroit Become Human is a fucking narrative-based game, Dave. What are you talking about?
Incidentally, though,
my
playthrough of God of War did incredibly well on YouTube. My views were up for a good week and a half. They were like, spiked, huge spike, because God of War was so popular. People were watching it on demand at their own pace. They were playing the game themselves, then coming and watching my playthrough afterward on my YouTube channel. So it ended up evening out. Even though the streams declined, YouTube went up temporarily, and therefore it kind of evened out and didn't really...
But didn't you say that YouTube didn't pay him a lot because, of the ad revenue? I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Right. In the case of Detroit Become Human, there's a couple factors here that are going to make it a little different. First of all, the game is totally narrative-based. All right? It's a short game, totally narrative-based. A lot of people don't go for that kind of game. They like to watch people play, but they don't necessarily want to buy the game themselves and spend $60 on a game you could beat within 7 hours. I totally understand that. All right? In this day and age, you're looking for bang for your buck and replayability. Of course, Quantic Dream games do have a lot of replayability, but, you know, that being said, even I'll give you a perfect example. Kat, my girlfriend.
And
she's like, yeah, but, you know, $60, I'm going to beat it in like 8 hours, and I'm going to play my girlfriend. Was thinking...
Hold on. Let's hear this.
Getting it. And she's like, yeah, but, you know, $60, I'm going to beat it in like 8 hours, and I'm going to play it one more time for another 5 hours or whatever. I don't really want to drop that much money for a game.
Why would it be less time to play it again the second time? Story-based games kind of go the same length regardless. How would you make an 8-hour game 5 hours on the second run? I don't know.
I'm only going to play that much when I just played God of War that I played for over 20 hours, right? And I got so much content out of it.
Yeah, but that game is a single-player game. You can play through it once and then just kind of leave it. Like, I beat the game, and I could kind of go back into the side content, but it's not a game that I'm like, oh, I need to go back to God of War. I need to go back, dude. I'm playing, like, other games. So there's really... This comparison doesn't really work. Sorry, Dave.
I really don't want to drop money on a game like that. And there's a lot of people like that, and I totally understand that mindset. These are the people, all right, who are going to come watch my playthrough.
Cat's going to watch your playthrough? Okay.
Whether it's on demand on YouTube or they watch it live on Twitch, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. But in general, when I do live stream narrative-based games, people love it. I'll give you a perfect example. All right, Until Dawn.
Did people love his Heavy Rain playthrough when he replayed it? Because he said it was a failure, but now people love him. Okay.
Game a few years ago, and people loved it. They said it was one of the best playthroughs I ever did. They loved watching me live stream it, and it was huge on stream and then huge on YouTube as well. Did really well. Am I saying Detroit Become Human is going to be huge? No. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's not going to be huge, but he was like hyping the fuck out of the game. Okay.
You know, sometimes you think it's going to go one way and it goes the other. Sometimes you think it's going to go bad and it goes good. Sometimes you think it's going to go good, it goes bad. I don't know. But what I'm hoping is at least I'm going to have this core group of people who absolutely love to see me play narrative-based games who are going to join me live. And then those who maybe are playing the game by themselves but want to see my reactions and my run will watch it later on YouTube. You know, there you go. So we'll see. You know, traditionally, when I play Quantic Dream games, it goes really well. That's traditionally. We don't know. You never know if it's going to be consistent. But I like to stay positive and think, yeah, people have enjoyed this before. They'll enjoy this again. Okay?
They will enjoy it again,
right.
God damn it.
Shout out to Jose Cuervo, tipped me $1 and says, play the game. I am going to play the game.
Play the game.
I'm going to do a pre-stream first. And even though I do appreciate your dollar contribution, making demands on stream is not necessarily the best way to get me to finish up pre-stream early. In fact, because you did this dollar tip, demanding that I get to the game, I'm now responding to it. And
you literally play video games, and you're getting angry that people want you to play video games. Okay, that's like if I do arts. Let's say I do an art stream, right? And I'm just saying like, okay, well, I'm gonna talk about my life. You know, my life has been pretty good. I fed Cleo. Cleo was really happy today. You know, she flops around sometimes. She hops around in her cage. I gave her water too, and then you're like, I thought this was an art stream. When's he gonna do the art? Oh, don't worry. We'll get to the art. This is gonna come later. It's like, then why come? Why come to the stream if you're not getting what you came for? You know? Okay.
Response is actually taking up even more time on the pre-stream.
But be an asshole, Dave.
To be pushed back even further. So in reality, while analyzing your choice to actively tell me what to do on pre-stream, it seems to have been completely counterproductive for what you wanted. So perhaps maybe next time, leave a nice positive message instead of something swearing at me because the guy swore and I didn't read it. And maybe do something a little bit
Why can't you read swears, Dave?
And things will be a little bit more pleasant here on pre-stream rather than you making demands of me on pre-stream and then just delaying getting to the gameplay that you actually wanted to see to begin with. As you can see, now I've talked for 2-3 minutes about your delaying the gameplay even further, so probably it was a bad idea to begin with. All right. And then shout out to AES, who cheered and said Washington is talking out of his ass. Detroit is actually getting mostly positive reviews, but you're right. You play it and judge it for yourself. Yeah, see, there's a thing.
Yeah, it's getting positive reviews, all right.
When a game gets overly positive or overly negative reviews, people seem to have this consensus opinion before they've ever touched the game, and this is why I hate advanced reviews. I've said it from the get-go. I don't think anyone should get advanced copies, including the gaming media,
Gaming media should not get advanced copies. But he said in multiple videos, well, the journalists could get the games early. He's back on the same opinion that he said he wasn't a He learns from his mistakes, guys. He learns from his mistakes, dude.
Streamers, including YouTubers, no one should get advanced copies. Everyone should just have to play the game on release day. And, you know, if you are a person who's on the fence and not sold on a game yet, don't buy it on release day. Have some self-constraint, self-control. Wait a day or two for people who bought it on release day to tell you what they think, and then make your judgment based off of that, rather than hearing too.
But, like, some of these games have these pre-order bonuses, though, or these limited editions, or whatever, that's for day one. And they might want to get that stuff before it's gone. So maybe that's why early reviews are beneficial, Dave. But okay.
2 weeks early that a game is good or bad, and then there's a giant mob mentality about that game before the common gamer actually gets their hands on it and can give you a realistic opinion on it. You know, and there's games that are made or broken completely on pre-release reviews. And I don't like that at all. I think that...
But if it is, they explain it in their review. Oh, this is before the patch or whatever. or that the company will say, oh, there's going to be a day one patch to fix this bug, or whatever. It's usually pretty clear that that this issue would be resolved. But okay.
Not be based on that at all. That people should actually have intelligent opinions formulated about this, based off of actual gameplay and things. Now, one elitist guy got the game early, played it a week early. Oh, by the way, he wasn't allowed to give his true opinions on the game because of a review embargo. So basically, he just played the game.
Oh my god. Hello? Hello? God damn it. Oh, I'm expecting a call, that's why I had to pick up the phone. But, now I don't remember what I was saying.
Game without saying anything about it, really, commentary at all.
Oh, this whole meme of, well, since there's a review embargo, they can't express their opinions in their stream, dude. That makes no fucking sense. They can give their opinion on the game. They can't give a review of the game. They can't post a video review. They can't give a number score. They could say that, oh, I like this, I dislike this during their stream. There's no embargo on it. On top of that, they can talk about any other thing. They're not sitting there in silence because of the embargo. Every time he brings this up, it's like he expects people to be like, okay, I'm playing Indivisible, dude, and there's an embargo, okay? And I just do that. It's like, wait, why are you not talking, Theo? There's a review embargo. I cannot talk, okay? I cannot give my opinion on this game, so I can't give you commentary, okay? No one does that. Come on, Dave. You're being silly again.
Because of a review embargo. So basically, he just played the game without saying anything about it, really, commentary at all, positive or negative, on a stream. So everyone got hyped and said, oh, the game's great, right? In reality, it might be the worst game ever, but he wasn't able to say that because he had a pre-release copy.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. That's not how embargoes work. Who did he get this idea from? What the fuck? And then King Swaggin says, watch when Yakuza starts, everyone is gonna wish it was pre-streamed since the game is so goddamn boring. Swaggins, you have no fucking taste. Okay? Just don't go to streams. You're a waste of time.
Who play games early, the game's not even online enabled yet, and the game has a major online component, and then they review it negatively, and then the game comes out and it's actually good, or vice versa. Sometimes games will be patched before release, and the things that people complain about in these early reviews don't even exist in the game anymore when you get it. That's why I hate this. I hate this aspect, and I don't think it should exist. All right. So in particular, in regards to
gives the same opinion that everyone gave him shit about. It's just amazing. It's amazing. He gives the exact same opinion, and he's saying that, oh, this is what I really think, not what I said in that tweet, when he just said the same fucking thing. He even explicitly described his opinion that both gaming journalists and streamers should not get advanced copies. Which in his tweet he said that as well. And he was like, no, I'm talking about streamers. But here he just said that he's talking about two people. Okay, Dave.
I'm going to approach it like I've always done games. I play at a face value, and I judge for myself. And then I share my opinion with you guys live, on the fly, on the streams, and in the videos, rather than believing what I hear from one person or another. All right?
So then why should we believe you then when you play the game, huh?
All right.
All right.
Shout out to the captain of Salt, who cheers, I demand a full pre-stream stream. Well, we did give a full pre-stream stream. This isn't as long as some of the recent ones, though. And the bottom line is it looks like we're about to be done. Oh, hold on. All right. Leckham just cheered. He says, I don't understand the logic. Can't people just watch the game on someone's stream and determine if it's good for themselves? I watched you play State of Decay 2. I realized it was a tedious mess before you gave your opinion on it. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand the me, personally, I don't...
So, okay, so if I watch someone who gets the game early, I can't have that thought. I have to wait till the launch day to have that thought? What?
Understand the logic of why someone needs to get a game early to begin with. Because, let's say, for example, I got State of Decay 2 a week early, and I played it on stream. There's actually what's called a review embargo. Meaning, if I played it a week early, I would not have been able to tell you while I was playing it, man, this really sucks.
Yeah, you could. You could do that during your fucking stream. You can't give a numbered review or say that this is a review. You could give your thoughts on it because it's commentary through a stream. You don't... He doesn't understand a review embargo. He's so dumb. Okay.
Say that. That would be breaking the review embargo, and I'd get in trouble. Alright?
How would you be breaking a review embargo if you're not reviewing the game? You're streaming the game. That's like if you got an advanced copy, and the review embargo is, oh my god. Review embargo is going on. I can't tell my partner or my friend. I can't tell you what I think of him. It's under embargo, dude. I can't tell you. Okay.
Now, when I was playing State of Decay 2, and I showed you all the aspects of the game, I was telling you, wow, this is good, this sucks, this is fun, this isn't. Because it was an honest, reactionary gameplay stream, which is all that I do. Alright, so...
But also, that's not what the guy asked. That's not what the guy said. He said that, you know, why can't I watch a stream and make an opinion for myself before he even gave an opinion on it? That's what he said. Has nothing to do with when you got the game or review embargoes. All that's irrelevant to what the guy said. Like, look, we'll scroll up. I'll scroll up and say what he says. I don't understand that logic. Can't people just watch the game on someone's stream and determine if it's good for themselves? It has nothing to do with the commentary of the streamer or the embargo. But Dave is just ignoring that and talking about embargoes again for no reason. But okay.
That's what I don't agree with. Or, again, these pre-release copies that come out to review sites, and they're playing a game that's not finished because then there's a patch before the game comes out that fixes the issues they're complaining about. You know? So, these pre-release streams, pre-release copies have no purpose. They just either generate hype needlessly, because the person can't be honest about the game they're playing, or they generate reviews that might not even be legit. So, why do we still have this practice? I'm so lost about it.
They can still talk about the game. What is this source?
In my opinion, it's just I just don't understand it. Again, pre-release copies are from a bygone era, from when game developers. Again,
he got in trouble for saying this on Twitter. Says the same fucking opinion.
Needed to get their games out to magazines, not before the era of the internet. They needed to get their games out to game magazine publishers so the magazines could create their articles, publish physically the paper magazine, ship it to stores, and have it on newsstands the day the game released. That's different from today when everyone could just fucking play the game on release and share it on the internet. There's no need for pre-release copies ever again. They serve no purpose besides artificial hype built up for a game and reviews that aren't necessarily accurate.
He is saying the same thing he got in trouble for. Come on, Dave.
All right.
All right.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. I don't think so. All right, guys. So, thank you very much for your support. Thank you for the cheer subs and tips so far today on stream. As I said, we are starting with Yakuza. I will give you a shout out when I can during the conclusion of Yakuza. I don't know if I'll be able to do it immediately while you cheer sub or tip.
I like he says this, but he won't do a review, by the way. He will not do a review of Yakuza 6 despite having time to do one. Okay.
Scenes can be insanely long at times, alright? Probably only have about an hour of Yakuza left. Once Yakuza's wrapped up, I will be taking a break and switching over the stream.
See, won't do a review.
H1Z1. And then we'll do an H1Z1 for a while. Okay? For the rest of the stream. So let's hope H1Z1 actually works later today when I get to it. But for now, we're going to finish up Yakuza. I apologize for those who Yakuza is not your cup of tea. Normally, I would play this as a nighttime stream, but being there's only an hour left and I was stuck in a cutscene last night, I just want to wrap it up today. And then we can move on to other stuff. Okay, fair enough?
Couldn't play the game. Couldn't play the game.
Sound good?
Couldn't finish the cutscene, but okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your support. I do appreciate it. Let's now end the pre-stream. Let's get settled in here, and let's resume with Yakuza and finish up the game. All right. Thank you guys, and let's begin. All right, guys. Ouch. I just cracked my neck. Ouch. All right.
I'm waiting for him to say, I gotta go to the bathroom, dude.
Let me get my headphones on.
Oh, I guess headphones.
I forgot my old account says, why do Yakuza first? Because there's no way I could play H1Z1 first. If I close Yakuza, it ends the cutscene and makes me have to replay gameplay and not finish the game. If I close Yakuza and play H1Z1, then later tonight, if I played Yakuza, I'd have to replay like an hour of gameplay to get back to where I was, and I'm not doing that. That's why.
Okay.
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 Alrighty then, guys.
Why not do a review? Someone should ask him.
Alright, let's finish this up. My hair's sticking straight up yet again. Let's finish this up. The end of Yakuza.
Okay. Alright. Alright, everyone. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Let me know. Let me know. I'm curious. Do you like this idea I had? Having drawing tablet here. Doing this during this video. Do you like that idea? Did you hate it? Are you gonna say, Theo, you're a fucking idiot? How dare you do this to us? Or is it like, okay, Theo, yay, do it again. I love it. Alright. Well, thank you guys for watching. By the way, in case some of you don't know, this is Maki. Maki from, Final Fight, Street Fighter 3 Alpha Max, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. I don't think she's in the, original Alpha 3, sadly. I know she's also in the SNK, games, the Versus SNK, but I always liked Maki. She's a cool character. I, started playing as her in Alpha 3 one day, and I was like, oh, love at first sight, I guess. Hopefully Capcom brings her back. Come on, Capcom, add her in Street Fighter 5. I'm begging ya. But it is what it is. Maki, best girl, best ninja girl, best Bushin Ryu girl. Bada bing, bada boom. Thank you for watching. See ya in the next one.